We'll continue on today talking about crop development, in particular winter wheat. The growth stage of most wheat fields right now is we are entering the beginning of flag leaf emergence to fields fully out in flag leaf on some of the earliest September planted wheat. Later planted wheat appears to catch up to the early planted wheat. It does so by going through each growth stage more rapidly, including grain fill, unfortunately. But what was once a 5-week difference at planting time back in the fall narrows down to less than a 3 or 4 day difference in maturity come harvest time. The flag leaf emergence marks the end of herbicide applications. We're simply too close to flowering of the weed heads to risk any damage from herbicide. It seems we may have escaped some obvious signs of frost damage. We had some nights during growth stage 32, second node, and 33, third node, where we're down as much as -7 in some areas for 3 to 4 hours, which should have caused some substantive damage. We can certainly see signs of leaf damage, but more substantive damage may not be known until head emergence and flowering time. So these photos this photo from Texas A&M just shows wheat heads being affected at different stages of growth when the frost came. So the first head here is showing some floret sterility when the head was coming up through the boot. The second one just showing the awns that have been tinged, and the third head not showing as much damage, but we get this kinking and snagging of the wheat head as it tries to come out of the boot. I've seen these in the past. Not very extensive, not a huge impact on yield. Of course, it depends on the size of the area that's impacted. The flag leaf, we're going to now turn our attention to plant health. We spend the first half of the season building yield potential. Now we're going to spend the last half of the season protecting that yield potential through plant health. So far, Septoria leaf diseases, both incidence and severity has been low, as has powdery mildew. But as weather changes, those disease issues can change as well. Cooler, more humid weather might favor powdery mildew, and slightly moderate to warmer temperatures and canopy wetness would favor Septoria. So we're going to keep our eye on that. So with flag leaf visible coming out this week and next, we're going to have to keep a close eye on where the disease is, where it's moving up in the canopy. And certainly by the time we get to the first week of June, we'll be turning our attention to protecting the heads. The T2 fungicide application is generally aimed at flag leaf, although we're seeing a lot of late application of T1, let's call it a T1.5. Depending on where the disease is in the canopy, that might suffice as being called a late T1 and an early T2. So we'll have to keep an eye on how the disease progresses up through the canopy, whether we need to actually have a T2. And so coming up next, we'll be discussing fusarium head blight or head scab and what we need to do at head emergence to keep the level of dawn at acceptable levels. And so we'll be back in a couple weeks with that, and we'll have a discussion around dawncast. So thanks for listening. Stay healthy and stay safe.